General Yeager passing is really marking the end of an era. When he was flying, in particular his early flight career as a test pilot, that was a time when there were huge leaps in the advancement of technology in aerospace. And with his passing, that really marks the passing of an era. The test pilots in the 40s and 50s, when Chuck Yeager was flying, really live in our lives today in aerospace technology, in particular in flying faster than the speed of sound. Chuck Yeager was the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound when he broke the sound barrier on October 14, 1947. And his achievement was incredible. There were so many hazards to trying to break the sound barrier. In fact, there were people at the time saying it's simply not possible. That's why it was called a barrier. And there were many different ways that Chuck Yeager was risking his life, many different ways that he could have gotten killed in breaking this barrier, this human barrier. There was a huge team that was involved in making him successful. The U.S. Air Force, NACA, the predecessor to NASA, and private companies as well. But he was the one that put his life on the line to make it happen. We're so deeply proud and honored that General Yeager's legacy lives on right here in Dayton, right here at Wright-Patterson. And it does so in two ways. Chuck Yeager's first experience as a test pilot was here at Wright Field. He was assigned to Wright Field in 1945 and became a test pilot here. So right in the skies overhead, Chuck Yeager was flying early jet aircraft and foreign aircraft, like German captured aircraft. Also, General Yeager's legacy lives on here in this museum, and in particular in this gallery. We're surrounded by aircraft that Chuck Yeager actually flew. He flew the X-3, the X-4, and the XF-92 that are on display in this gallery. Actually flew these aircraft. And then we also have other aircraft types that he flew, like we have this X-1B. Now, he didn't fly this particular aircraft, but he flew the original X-1 to break the sound barrier. And then we also have an X-5 aircraft. There were two that were built, and he didn't fly our X-5, but he did fly the sister ship to the X-5 that's on display here. One interesting part of his story is the MiG-15 that's displayed right here at the Air Force's National Museum. A defector took this MiG-15 and flew it to South Korea in the early 50s. And we didn't know how long we were going to have this particular aircraft. We thought we would have to give it back. So we wanted to get as much information out of it as possible. And the best way to do that was to have somebody fly it. And of course, it had to be Chuck Yeager. So this MiG-15 was transported to Okinawa, and Chuck Yeager went there and flew this unfamiliar aircraft to understand its performance. And remarkably, that MiG-15 is on display here right now in the Korean War Gallery at the Air Force's National Museum.